Welcome to the W. This video is part of a series of videos of reviews of hotels in Asia, starting here at the W, going to the Four Seasons, and then after Pule Bay, which is a Ritz-Carlton Reserve, followed by the Sierra, which is a luxury collection hotel in Lombok near Bali. This is Tech in the Car. I make car videos, not hotel reviews, but I thought it'd be fun to show you around some of the cool places I've been going to. Only subscribe if you like car videos, but do give me a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Now, this area of the W is the entrance of the hotel where you come in and there's seating. This is a bar area where you can enjoy yourself, but it has the benefit of having some amazing views of the Gulf of Thailand. Now, underneath here, you'll see is breakfast, and I'll show you that in a little bit, but you can sit out here and enjoy yourself in beautiful Thailand weather in this beautiful pond-like area, which is actually, it's kind of an optical illusion because it's only like that deep, the water, and you can walk through it, but it looks really beautiful and it reflects sunlight on a day like today perfectly. And this is, like I said, one of these hotels in Koh Samui. There's a lot of them, which is perched on a hill, so you get a view over the Gulf of Thailand, so you can see everything all around you. And this is very common in this area because that's the key selling point, but it doesn't take away from its beauty. Now, if you've never stayed at a W hotel before, then what you will realize is it's kind of a fun, hip kind of place. And you can see behind me the seating area. It's a kind of place you go if you want a bit of liveliness. It is part of the luxury collection of Marriott properties, but it's not in itself a luxury collection hotel or comparable to a Ritz-Carlton, for example, or to one of the other high-end brands. This is very much for people who like fun, like to party, and they're always playing loud music here. And to be honest, I could do with them turning it down just a little bit so I can actually talk to the people that work here when I'm ordering some dinner. But that's the kind of vibe it has. It's very different to other hotels here, and that's the beauty of a place like this. There's a lot of choice about where you can stay. Here we are in the lobby area where the W logo is, where the bar is. You can go outside. But when you come into the hotel, this is the view that you get. And being a W hotel, it's got lots of fun things going on. So we have the artwork. There we go. And I like that as well. But it's just a very cool, relaxed vibe in this place. So welcome to breakfast here at the W Koh Samui. They've got a nice area where you can have whatever you want. I'll show you some close-ups of the options in a second. They've also got a specials list, and then obviously you've got traditional Western food. And I've actually got an omelette here. I just asked them to make me, and I've got an avocado toast coming. Now this is really nice. They brought me a plate of fruit. I didn't ask for a plate of fruit, but I was brought a plate of fruit and offered it. So that's really good service. I'm impressed with that. So this is our breakfast view, and you can have your breakfast over here and chill out here and enjoy it. But the view is even better from up there, which you will have seen. If you like to have a swim, that is the main pool here at the W. We'll go and take a closer look at it in a minute. Down here you can see the villas. Now there are villas on both sides of the property. There's villas on this side and villas on the other side. And what that means is there's a large variety of choices in this hotel of where you can stay. I'll show you around my villa later. Let's have a look around the grounds now and go check out the beach. So welcome to the beach. Let's go and check it out now and see what it's like, but it's a really cool entrance down here. Now, of course, there's no point in having a hotel by the beach if there isn't somewhere for you to enjoy by the beach and somewhere for you to take in the views and see all there is. So let's go check out the beach here. Now, as we come down onto the beach here, you can see there is obviously some seating areas here. I've got sand between my feet here, which is what you like on the beach. Now, what I would say about this sand is I'm not convinced that this sand is exactly natural. And what I mean by that is it feels quite hoarse and quite rough, which is something which maybe you don't expect, but it is what it is. But you can't deny that this is a very beautiful beach to come and stand on and to enjoy the views, if I don't fall over, of the Gulf of Thailand and the W up there. In fact, let's go check out the W as we walk along here. Now, this is a very tropical place, I don't need to say that, and I'm here at the midpoint in May, and yesterday it was raining, and it really wasn't the kind of day where you would necessarily enjoy the view and being in a place like Thailand. But today, tropical weather, it can change, and we've got the best of it. Fingers crossed it remains on this trip. Let's talk a bit about the history of this resort. It was opened in November 2010, and it was a debut of W Hotels in Southeast Asia, which is a first. The resort's development saw the collaboration of MAPS Design Studio for its architecture and Thailand-based P49 design for its interiors, with the aim to create a property that not only complemented cutting-edge design, but also embodied the W brand signature focus, which sounds a lot of like corporate talk to me, but basically it's a cool, funky place. This hotel opened with 75 private villas, each equipped with private pools, and it overlooks the Gulf of Thailand, as we've seen, with some amazing views. And I'm sitting here on the beach, and there's some lounges, as Americans would say, to my left, and then I can see the kayaks in front of me if you want to go out in the water. Now, the only thing I would say, which I noticed, and you probably noticed it in my video clip where I'm standing by the W, is there is a bit of, I don't know, I'd have to describe it. The water was a bit dirty. It looked like it was the currents bringing water from maybe one of the offshore mud sandbanks. I don't know. But that was one thing I noticed on the tip of this peninsula area. Not like that further down or up here, but just an observation I would make. It has been raining. I imagine that's a result of the weather. Although sitting here now, again, you'd think it was never raining because it is a beautiful, beautiful day. Right, let's wander over here and have a look at the kayaks and the options here and see what we have. So behind me here we have kayaks that you can take out if you want to and go into the water. And there's some people out there in the water having a swim. And here are the lounges area behind me where you can lie down and enjoy some sun if you want to. Of course, every room has their own pool, and you have sunbeds in your room as well. So you can always stay there and use your own facilities. You don't need to come out to the beach. Maybe you prefer the swimming pool. Different villas have different swimming pool sizes and different layouts. So I'm staying in a villa which has got an ocean view, and it's got a really nice big swimming pool, infinity edge swimming pool. But another villa I saw which had a garden view, a tropical oasis, had a pool basically on the ground, and it wasn't quite as big and not quite as nice as the upper view. It just depends what you're into, and obviously your budget when you book a hotel like this, wherever you go on holiday. Always worth considering and remembering that if you are a member of Marriott Bonvoy, because this is a Marriott Bonvoy hotel and you have status, then you will get potentially upgrades. And also you can get things like breakfast included in a late checkout, depending on the level of status that you have. This hotel does include breakfast anyway. If you go to a hotel which isn't a Marriott, like a Four Seasons, or even if you're not a Marriott Bonvoy member, there are various travel agencies which have partnerships with Marriott. I believe it's called Marriott Stars, and you can find them online. You can search them, and then you get stuff like potentially a credit, $100 credit, so you can use it for food and beverage right at the hotel, plus that upgrade. This is particularly useful at hotels which are not part of one of these programs as well. Here we are by the beachside bar behind me here, and then if you wanted to go play chess, you can play chess here, because right behind me here is a giant chessboard. So yeah, you can play chess on a giant chessboard if you want to do that. It is very, very big, and I don't know if they're heavy or not. Let me check. They're actually fairly heavy, but not impossibly heavy, to be fair to say. Now let's head to my villa, and here we are. This is my room. Let's go in and check it out. And then we come to the bed. And here we are outside. Remember, when you have a place like this, the air conditioning turns off when you open the doors, so just keep that in mind. We got a nice big lounger there. We've got a table and chairs, but this is the star of the show, the swimming pool. And this is a pretty nice swimming pool. It's very large. We've got 2 sunbeds at the side there. And I'll be in the pool later, so you can always see me and my opinions on the swimming pool later. But this is an ocean view room, and that's because you get a view of the ocean from here. Now, you may not see very much of the ocean from here, and that's because this is not an uninterrupted view of the ocean, but it is still an ocean view villa. This pool is really, really great. I'm a big fan of this swimming pool. And you can also go from the bathroom through those doors straight out into the water if you want to. So that's the outside area, and that's an ocean view villa. Now, one of the fun things about the W hotels are the fact that it's here in Koh Samui, but they have these things called sweet spots. And in sweet spots, you get free drinks and, best of all, free ice cream, because who doesn't want free ice cream? And so let's go check it out. Now, they're in between the villas at regular intervals. It so happens that this one is literally about 10 seconds from my door. But let's check out what's going on in here. And down here is all our treats. Welcome to my private pool. As I said, every one of the 75 villas in this hotel at W Koh Samui has their own swimming pool. This is an ocean view villa, which means it's perched up a bit higher than every other one, which gives you a view of the ocean, but it is not uninterrupted. That's the one thing I would say about this. This is not like the Four Seasons, like the Conrad. It's not built on a super steep hill. It is on a hill, don't get me wrong, but the way it's been designed is a bit less dramatic, which means that you don't get an uninterrupted view from every single room. In fact, I would guess that most of the rooms that have a ocean view are not uninterrupted, i.e. there is always going to be something in the way, like the villa behind me here, which is totally in my way. And I can see their front door and I can see their entrance. I can't see, however, their swimming pool, and I can't see anything which you might consider private, but I can see it. I can also see the hotel facilities, the spa and the restaurant up there. Now, one thing I do like about this villa, which I prefer to the other villa, is that the pool is a much more substantial swimming pool. And because it's more substantial, it means there's more room for you. So we have this shelf here where you could put your sunbeds. Right now they're behind the camera, but they could go right here. And at its deepest point, it's about 3.5 to 4 feet. I haven't seen any sign saying the exact depth, but based on me being 178 centimeters, which is what I always say when I'm making a car video, based on that fact, which is funny because I normally don't do it talking about swimming pool, this is not a deep pool and you won't have any problems in here for any adult. Obviously, if you have young children, it might be a bit deep in some parts, but it's relative. This is a really good pool for just relaxing and enjoying in your villa. There is the big main pool that I've also shown you if you want to have, I guess, more room. But the fact that you can come here after you've been out in the sun, getting really hot and sweaty, jump in your pool, cool down, but not cool down so much that it's a freezing cold pool, cool down just a little bit, is a fantastic benefit of having one of these rooms. This hotel was last renovated in 2018, I believe, and it's a bit rough around some edges. I'm being very, very pedantic here and very, very picky because it's still a beautiful hotel and all the facilities are amazing. But even inside this swimming pool itself, you can see some of the tiles are looking a bit the worse for wear, and in the room there are some areas which are lacking, let's say. One of the reasons why I liked the Westin Bora Bora, you can check out my video review of that, was because it was brand new and everything was spotless and perfect. Comparing that to the St. Regis in Bora Bora, where everything just felt like it was ready to fall apart. That's not like that here. Here it's perfectly good, and you would really, if you weren't looking, you probably wouldn't even notice those little rough edges. But I'm being very particular, to be fair, because otherwise, what's the point of watching this? I wanted to show you around and show you what it's like. So this is what it's like. And what I can tell you is having a pool when it's super hot is super nice. I like that. Now, if you're wondering what it's like here in the grounds, it's very luscious. You can walk around and get around places, but you might get lost if you don't know where you're going, because it can be a bit confusing. So if you were to get lost, the way to do it is to get onto a buggy, which I'm waiting for it. Hold on, I'm waiting for it. I was hoping that he would pull along just as I said, if you're waiting for buggy, but not quite, but close enough. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Mr. Oliver.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
How was today?
Right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And you can get on a buggy to get around the hotel, which makes it very easy, so you don't get lost, because it can get confusing otherwise, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And here it is. Here is the main swimming pool at the W Koh Samui. And once again, a fantastic view of the facilities that we have here. And you can go swimming, you can lounge on the sunbeds behind me, and just in case you forget where you are, there's a big W behind your head as well. Now, a bit like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, I'm now going to climb all these steps to get back to the main reception area, which is up here. So here I am in the gym, and we have all the facilities in here that you could want. And there's a nice fridge where you get cold towels, cold water, and that's really nice. And it's hot and you've been working out. Let's end the video here and let's just have a quick review of what I think of the W here in Koh Samui, Thailand. I think it's a fun, funky, cool hotel. It's great if you want to stay in a place which is lively. In terms of pricing, this hotel costs, you know, there's lots of variation towards the year. For a night like this that I'm staying, I paid around £250 for one night. However, it's normal to see prices of £500 or more per night, depending on the room category. Of course, points is one way to pay for rooms like this. Whilst this hotel is not a hotel that I paid for with points, you will see some hotels coming up which are hotels points, and points are a fantastic way of paying for hotels, especially hotels which are incredibly expensive. So not necessarily this hotel right now, but when we get to Pulei Bay, which is a Ritz-Carlton Reserve, that is a points purchase and it's definitely worth it. And the Westin Bora Bora was also a points hotel, and so was the St. Regis. So just keep that in mind. Points, great way to stay in really nice hotels if you don't necessarily have the budget to pay the full price. And you can get points with credit cards, you can get points with buying points. I have a link to American Express cards down here if you want to join and get some points which you can use as Marriott points, or indeed pretty much everywhere else. They work with every hotel brand. But this hotel, funky, cool, fun, I like it. Nice grounds, beautiful, the staff are really friendly, good service. I think this is a really good, what I would describe as middle ground in Koh Samui. It's not the top luxury and it's not the come in entry and don't spend much money. It's right in the middle, and I think for middle hotel it is a good hotel and I've enjoyed it very much. And so I want to say a big thank you to the W Koh Samui for letting me stay here. Not that they had anything to do with me staying here because I paid for it, but please check out my other videos. There are some hotel reviews probably here and here, and mainly car reviews. So if you like cars, watch my car videos because that's mainly what I do, and do subscribe if you do. And if you don't, then don't subscribe because you'll get confused by all the car videos. Thanks for watching.